So, guys, in what seems to be the most interesting of all the matchups, it looks like JuJu Watkins and Paige Bueckers are going to face off again. Yes, again in the Elite Eight of the NCAA Tournament. And if you guys don't know what happened last time, UConn won fairly comfortably. It wasn't JuJu herself struggled a little bit in that game, and yeah, UConn won comfortably. But this was a very different UConn team. Yes, they were very different players, and Aaliyah Edwards was there, Nika Mule was there. So they had some different players, but they didn't have Sarah Strong. I think Sarah Strong's better than both of those players, by the way. Caitlin Chen, don't know how I feel about Caitlin Chen, but AZ Fudd's back as well. So this is a UConn team that right now are a lot of people's picks to win the whole thing. Them, South Carolina, maybe UCLA. But it's going to be real tough for USC to go and make it out into the Final Four. It is going to be extremely tough. It was looking like they had, the predicted brackets, they had the easiest bracket. They had NC State as their number 2 seed, it looked like. But they ended up, by the looks of things, being the 4th overall seed and drawing against UConn. So, this is what it looks like. The only team, in my opinion, that have a chance is Iowa. I mean that. The only team I think have a chance of stopping that is Iowa. So, if you guys want to look just at the bracket here, I'm going to talk a little bit about predictions. So, in this side, I'm predicting to make the Final Four. I'm going LSU. I know LSU only give a damn about the tournament. NC State, I think LSU beat NC State. And I think LSU beat UCLA. Again, they beat them last year from a lower seed as well. LSU were a 3 seed last year. UCLA, they were in the section with Iowa, and UCLA won that. But other teams that could be interesting in this section, you never know. NC State could go and make the Final Four again. I don't rate Michigan State at all. Hopefully, we see Harmony Turner maybe win a round and get her against NC State and just cook. In this section, the USC section, I'll talk about that last. And again, that is to play UCLA. I think whoever comes out of that section is going to beat UCLA or LSU. But South Carolina, they've got Utah, who, on any given day, Utah can just light a team up. I guess. Duke and Lehigh, they're going to need... Do you remember what happened the last time? Duke were the number 2 seed and Lehigh were the number 15 seed. CJ McCollum happened the last time. Duke were a 2 seed and Lehigh were a 15 seed. Yes, it was in a different gender of basketball. I don't care. Lehigh won that game, and I'm not predicting Lehigh to win again. South Carolina to breathe through this bracket. Then it's Texas. I hate Texas as a team. I'm this is a team that literally doesn't shoot threes. Everything I learned about the sport of basketball, Texas are the opposite. I can't predict Texas to come out of this because they're in one of the tougher sections as well, because they've got the best 3 seed and a dangerous 2 seed in Notre Dame, or say in TCU, who can at least kind of deal with their inside presence with Sedona Prince. Notre Dame on their day can just cook anyone. Notre Dame, with 5 games to go in the regular season, were the overall 1 seed. And by the time they got to the tournament, they are a 3 seed. They're a 3 seed in the tournament. It is mental. I can't believe that. Genuinely cannot believe that. But still, that is what they are. And Iowa State, and by the way, Iowa State are playing Princeton to get into the tournament. Iowa State were ranked in the top 10 before the year started. That's kind of mad as well. So, TCU are going to win that game. TCU are going to get through. So, Notre Dame face TCU. I don't think TCU beat them again. I think Notre Dame figure it out. And I'm going to call Notre Dame getting through this. I think Texas and Notre Dame is literally it's style. When styles make fights, I don't think either of them can really do anything with each other. I think you've got the bigs versus a team that is very reliant on guard play. Madison Booker versus Hannah Hidalgo, that 2027 WNBA, like that sophomore classic, that's going to be a serious game, the Elite Eight, if it happens. I don't see TCU beating Notre Dame. Like, I thought TCU could have made the Elite Eight. It'll be a tough one, though. But then you have got the section here. This is the real section. They have USC, Iowa, and freaking UConn in it. And with that, like, as well, it's going to be tough. So looking at this, for Iowa, it's going to be real tough. So I don't see USC losing before the Elite Eight. Like, they're not going to lose to Kansas State. I like some of Kansas State's players, but they're not losing to Kansas State. It'll be very interesting to see in the Sweet 16, Georgia Amore face off against USC. That's going to be a fun game. But, no, that's not happening. Iowa, assuming they beat Murray State, play one of the most interesting games I think we'll see. And it is Iowa versus Oklahoma. Like, Oklahoma is such a weird one because the way they play, like, they legitimately have got just an ability to beat anyone on their day. I know they got beaten well by South Carolina, but I don't know how you guard Reagan Beers if you're Iowa. Like, Reagan Beers, I'm looking up her stats right now. Reagan Beers is averaging 17.5 and 9 rebounds. She plays 22 minutes a game. Like, it's the weirdest tactic I think I've ever seen. Like, she obviously left Oregon State because their team basically folded. And, well, as good as folded. And she's gone to Oklahoma averaging the same numbers in like 8 less minutes a game. They literally play her 20 minutes a game so that she can go all out for those 20 minutes. And for Iowa, it's going to be interesting to see what they do in the tournament. Because I'm like, you can't leave one of the best bigs in the nation on the bench 20 minutes a game in a tournament game. You just can't do it. Can't do it. I'm calling the Iowa UConn Sweet 16. And if you are UConn, you do not want that to happen. Because I think UConn are going to beat USC. But I think if you are UConn, you want Iowa facing USC. You want Iowa trying to take down USC in that scenario. You do not want, and if you are UConn, you want Oklahoma. You do not want Iowa. Under no circumstances do you want Iowa because they just run everybody close. It does not matter. Iowa, it doesn't matter who you are. Iowa have lost one game by double digits this season, and it was by 10 exactly to Tennessee. Doesn't matter who they're playing. If they're going to lose, it's going to be a close game. They're competitive. It doesn't matter if they beat USC. If they play South Carolina, it'll be close. If they play anyone, it will be close with this Iowa team. Just the way they play, how they are as a team. Just the fact that no matter where in the country they are, it's going to be filled with Iowa fans. They are such a tough team to beat. And if you are UConn, you don't want to face them because they've got a pretty easy run. I think they beat Oklahoma comfortably. I think they got a very easy run to the Elite Eight. And I'm projecting in the rematch, I'm projecting the exact same thing as last year. I think UConn are better than last year. I think USC are better than last year too. But like for USC to beat UConn this year, it took JuJu Watkins having one of the best starts to a game outside of the UCLA games where teams actually guarded her. And it took UConn stinking it up. It took Sarah Strong missing game time free throws. And it took Paige Bueckers waiting until halfway through the third quarter to start trying to score. And then halfway through the fourth quarter, she missed a pull-up three and then stopped trying to score. It took everything going wrong for UConn and a lot going right for USC to win this game. And USC, I think, over the course of 40 minutes, over the space of 40 minutes, they've had so many second half lapses. They've had so many games where they dug themselves holes in the first half. And I don't think with UConn or USC, who very rarely play 40 minutes of good basketball, I don't think they got a chance to make it past the Elite Eight. I think USC are more likely to lose to Kentucky than they are to beat UConn. That's just my prediction. I think UConn are more likely to lose to Iowa and USC as well. That's my prediction as well. But I do think if USC play Iowa, they can make the Final Four. I just don't think I don't think the matchups wise it works. I think USC, they've got to start just recruiting spacing. I don't think the double inside bigs with JuJu helps anyone out there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But anyway, I'll see you guys.